I'm sure folks are flocking to the Noir Alley social media feeds to debate what exactly happened in the enigmatic ending of Le Samouraï. Feel free to argue about it, but don't take it too seriously. If you think director Jean-Pierre Melville played an unfair trick by showing Jeff's gun loaded when he entered the club, but not showing how it came to be unloaded, that's not the only trick he played. Right at the start, Melville shows an excerpt from Bushido, The Way of the Samurai. Only the quote isn't real. Melville made it up to have some justification for calling the film Le Samouraï. In drawing a parallel between a Japanese mercenary warrior and a contemporary assassin, Melville preferred his own epigram to anything he found in the actual Bushido. Making Le Samouraï was a bittersweet adventure for Melville. During production, Studio's genre burned down in a fire. In addition to losing both his home and workplace, Melville lost decades' worth of scripts, artifacts, and equipment. Fortunately, the success of Le Samouraï in Europe and eventually the rest of the world kept him going. He regrouped and created 3 more films over the next 5 years: Army of Shadows, his homage to the French Resistance, and the crime classics La Cirque Rouge and Un Flic, both with Alain Delon. Un Flic, which means a cop, was Melville's last movie, released in 1972. That was also the year Le Samouraï was finally released in America, 4 months after the premiere of The Godfather. So naturally, the U.S. distributor renamed it The Godson in an attempt to cash in on the success of Mario Puzo's mafia epic. The movie business has always been kind of stupid that way. Eventually, however, art house cinemas began featuring Melville retrospectives, unaltered and in their original language, and his films would have a significant influence on the next generation of filmmakers worldwide. In the 1960s, Alain Delon was an international star on par with Sean Connery and Steve McQueen, handsome guys who became icons of cool. But as popular as he was around the world, Delon never achieved stardom in America. Kind of ironic, given that he was discovered by a David O. Selznick talent scout at the Cannes Film Festival in 1956, where a 20-year-old Delon was merely the anonymous eye candy on the arm of actress Brigitte Aubert. Selznick screen-tested Delon and offered him a contract, but director Yves Allégret urged him to stay in France. Within a few short years, Delon was performing with legends like Jean Gabin and Simone Signoret, and starring in films by Europe's finest filmmakers: Purple Noon for René Clément, Rocco and His Brothers for Luchino Visconti, L'Eclisse for Michelangelo Antonioni. He was even considered for the lead in Lawrence of Arabia. But Delon could not lose his French accent, the main reason he was unable to land major roles in American movies. Yet few other actors enjoyed the level of popular and critical success Delon had from the 1960s through the 80s, as he smoothly moved between crowd-pleasing entertainments and challenging art films like Jacques Doré's The Swimming Pool and The Assassination of Trotsky and Mr. Klein, both made for expat American director Joseph Losey. Delon also became a successful entrepreneur, one of the first stars to manufacture and market his own products, starting with a line of Alain Delon sunglasses. In 2019, he was feted with an honorary Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival, celebrating his long life and career. Now 87, Delon has said he'd like to make one final film to cap off that career, and I hope it's worthy of him. Next week, we go from Jeff Costello to another Jeff, this one played by Robert Mitchum. But it's not out of the past. Mitchum returns to the alley as Dr. Jeff Cameron in a 1950 noir, pairing him with Faith Demurg and Claude Rains, Where Danger Lives. Till then, see you in the shadows.